Hello. Welcome to Breaking News and Biblical Views. I'm your host, Doug Hamp. Today we're looking at why Elon Musk's transhumanism claims may not be that far-fetched. As you know, I wrote a book called Corrupting the Image, and you can check that out on the channel here, coming out with the audiobooks. You want to check that out. But basically, the way I see things coming down is that the mark of the beast is going to be a genetic transformation of the person. And when you start to pair this together with transhumanism and some of the bold claims that they're making about what the world is going to look like, how humans are going to be different, I think we can make a pretty good case that the mark of the beast will be a transformation in the person. This is from wired.co.uk. You can check this out. Elon Musk, humans must become cyborgs. The question here is, what is he saying? The Tesla and SpaceX founder warned that a future where AI is smarter than us will be dangerous and we must all become cyborgs to survive. Well, this guy has done some pretty cool things in his life, such as, the Tesla cars and, of course, SpaceX. They're going to get out there. So he might have something to say about this. Here's what he says. We must all become cyborgs if we are to survive the inevitable robot uprising. That's the message from Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk, the entrepreneur who wants to send the human race to Mars. At the World Government Summit in Dubai, Musk argued that to avoid becoming redundant in the face of artificial intelligence, we must merge with machines to enhance our own intellect. Over time, I think we will probably see a closer merger of biological intelligence and digital intelligence, Musk said at a Tesla launch in Dubai, according to a report in CNBC. It's mostly about the bandwidth, the speed of the connection between your brain and the digital version of yourself, particularly output. Transhumanism, the enhancement of humanity's capabilities through science and technology, is already a living reality for many people to varying degrees. Documentary maker Rob Spence replaced one of his own eyes with a video camera in 2008. Amputees are using prosthetics connected to their own nerves and controlled using electrical signals from the brain. Implants are helping tetraplegics regain independence through the BrainGate project. At the lo-fi end of the spectrum, aspiring cyborgs have been implanting magnets under their skin for years. In the February issue of Wired, former director of the United States Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, which is called DARPA, Arati Prabhakar, wrote, "From my perspective, which embraces a wide swath of research disciplines, it seems clear that we humans are on a path to a more symbiotic union with our machines." But the theory isn't new. In March 2013, Zoltan Istvan published a novel called The Transhumanist Wager. The book asks a simple question: how far would you go to fight an anti-science world in order to live indefinitely through transhumanism? Protagonist Jethro Knights would start a world war, and does so in the book. It is seen by some as a political manifesto, and 18 months after publishing it, Istvan announced he was running for the U.S. presidency. Again, not to say that I'm the first to predict these things, but I did discuss these things in my book, Corrupting the Image, where I believe that an opportunity is going to be given to mankind, essentially this, based on Genesis 3:15, where it says that you and the woman, speaking of Satan and his seed, would be at war with the woman's seed. And when you consider Satan's seed, how can that be? How can he have seed? Our DNA is what we're talking about. How would he even possibly pass that on? Is it just through some kind of a sexual relation, or is there something more going on there? Again, as I see things happening, he is going to make his DNA available. It's going to be downloaded. They're going to understand or synthesize this DNA, then make it available to humans around the planet. You can literally email that DNA to other people, and it will be then available for others to inject into their own bodies, which will go into their cells, and then the cells will eventually be replaced until you have completely transhumanist DNA. He goes on, transhumanism will lead humanity forward to understand what seems like a simple truth, that the specter of aging and death are unwanted, and that we should strive to control and eliminate them, Ishvan said last year. Today, the idea of conquering death with science is still seen as strange. So is the idea of merging with machines, one of transhumanists' most important long-term goals. But once bionic eyes are better than human eyes, something that will likely happen within the next decade or so, the elective upgrades will start. So will using robots for household chores and getting chimp implants. I have one in my hand. So will CRISPR genetic editing create a new age of curing of disease and enhancing our physical form? Well, it all sounds really great, but what happens when somebody turns off the switch? Because how will these things be controlled? If they're connected, if they're connected to Wi-Fi or some sort of connection to the internet to get their updates and their power, what happens if somebody controls that? Whoever controls that will control the human race. Sounds like a bad idea to me. These separate yet parallel views suggest Musk's claims are not particularly far-fetched. For many people, phones, tablets, and laptops are near to hand enough through most of the day. The Tesla boss simply believes we will need to integrate the processing power rather than keep it exterior. The resulting potential of this would be extraordinary. At the Dubai summit, Musk compared our current communication capability, typing of 10 bits per second, to that of computers at a trillion bits per second. Some high bandwidth interface to the brain will be something that helps achieve a symbiosis between human and machine intelligence and maybe solves the problem, the control problem and the usefulness problem. According to the CNBC report, Musk went on to call the future of AI at a time when it eventually outsmarts humanity as dangerous. The founder is part of the Future of Life Institute, a group of academics, activists, scientists, and technologists that have tasked themselves with safeguarding life and developing optimistic visions of the future. In 2015, the group, which includes Stephen Hawking and Morgan Freeman, warned that a global robotic arms race would be virtually inevitable unless a ban were to be imposed on autonomous weapons. Musk's seemingly pessimistic outlook is not at odds with the optimism of his own work, but a reasoned prediction of what would come to be if human oversight is not at the heart of artificial intelligence progress. His latest statement seems to imply that to keep on top of that role, we will need to become the machine. He is not alone in his concerns either. At Wired 2016, pioneer in deep learning neural networks, Jürgen Schmidhuber warned that robots will eventually colonize our galaxy. Despite being at the launch of his own semi-autonomous car brand, Musk's statements were designed to encourage society to ensure tech like his does not put everyone out of a job, predicting that the 12 to 15% of the global workforce will be unemployed 20 years from now as a result of AI. Autonomous cars will be spearheading that change. It was a kind of sorry, not sorry statement from the billionaire. There are many people whose jobs are to drive. In fact, I think it might be the single largest employer of people driving in various forms. So we need to figure out new roles for what these people will do, but it will be very disruptive and very quick. Well, that's absolutely certain. We know that that is coming in about 20 years' time. But again, with every technology that comes along, there's always some other place where these people can find work. And it's not going to happen overnight. Eventually, what will happen immediately was that the semi-autonomous driving capabilities will help those drivers until eventually it just puts them out of business altogether. But hopefully in the meantime that people will be retrained, retooled, and they'll find more productive work. Not that that's not productive, don't take that the wrong way, sorry. But what I'm trying to say is that they'll find something that maybe is more rewarding or something that's less taxing and that humans can then do something else. That is what has happened with every technology, is that we've found a way to do it faster, better, cheaper, and that humans can then go and do some other kind of job. So in any event, that is what Musk sees coming. That is his understanding of the future. And thank you for joining me here on this part of breaking news and biblical views. Make sure to subscribe. And if you'd like to support this channel, just go ahead and click right there on the top of the screen. You'll see the button there to make a donation if you want to help support this ministry. So until next time, God bless.